everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to be telling you about my favourite places in the world. Before we start though, I will have to say that this will be the last backpack chat for a while. Don't worry, there are going to be more videos on a weekly basis. There'll probably actually be more. But as I'm leaving next week for Australia, then I'm going to do what's in my backpack, what's in my hand luggage, pre-departure nerves, things to do at an airport. So those will all be coming to you next week. However, I just can't give you a day. Everything is a little bit manic right now, so bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to run through my top 3 places that I have visited recently. My first one has to be Rome. However, I'm in a bit of conflict to say Vatican City, and that is completely separate. But I'm just kind of mould them in together because Vatican City is unbelievable. I have mentioned it in one of my previous videos, and it's a bit of advice I'll give you. If you're going to go to the Sistine Chapel and Vatican Museum, then I'd suggest you get a tour guide. Yes, you did hear me right. I'm suggesting you pay more money and get a tour guide. Apparently, I don't know if the statistic is correct, but if you looked at every picture in the Vatican Museum for 30 seconds, you would be in there for 12 years. It's massive, and there are so many rooms, and you could kind of wander around on your own aimlessly and then never get to the Sistine Chapel. So if you go on the underground to Vatican City and you come up, you will be bombarded with people offering you, because they all know that if you're going to go Vatican City, that is where you're going to go, and they can spot tourists a mile off. I was a student when I went, graduate now. We got our price at about £35, and that was for a 3.5-hour tour. Not only is the tour guide good because of the sheer size of the place, but also they're going to tell you things about the paintings in the Sistine Chapel, and they'll tell you a lot of things outside because they're not allowed to actually speak in the Sistine Chapel. So when you get in, you'll be looking for them and you'll be like, oh, that's what he meant, and it is pretty amazing. So tour guide, €35 for a student, that's the cheapest price I got, but you'll be asked 45, 50 euros, so haggle them down. Never stop for the first person who comes at you, okay? Keep walking because there are going to be loads of them, and have a haggle with them, okay? Have a bit of fun with it and see how low you can get it. But like I said, I paid 35 euros, so that's the kind of price that you should be looking for a student. Rome in general is just so beautiful as a city. It's hustle and bustle everywhere. The traffic is insane in Italy. And to be honest, I loved it because there's nothing better than sitting back with proper Italian coffee, little espresso, you got some postcards, you write them away, maybe writing in your travel journal, and you can just people watch. And there are so many people to watch. I remember that there was a really funny moment that me and my friend, I travelled with my friend to Italy, then my uni, and we came up from the underground and got our maps out ready to find the Colosseum. That was our first stop, obviously, and we were walking out. Now if any of you have been to Rome, you know exactly where this story's going. And I was like, right, so apparently it's right here. Pulled our maps down, bang, it was literally across this little road from us, and it was just there, and we just kind of stopped. It's massive. It's freaking huge. You can see it on pictures, but until you're there, you don't really get a sense for the size of this thing and how, oh wow, I mean, it just really takes you back. And then when you go in and you walk around, you can really imagine, one, the horror that must have took place there, and you could almost picture, if you've got a weird imagination like me, you could almost picture all the ladies and the men watching from above in their fine robes, and then lower down you might have a few more peasant folk, and you can just imagine it, you can feel it in there. The atmosphere is unbelievable, and I think that's why Rome will always be my #1 place in the world. However, coming in at a quick second is Budapest. I absolutely loved Hungary. Not the food, don't even get me started on the food. My first thing to do when I arrive in a place is to go to the market and have some food there, see and notice what the locals are eating. So I noticed everyone was ordering this kind of green wrap thing, and with this kind of cabbage on the side, and everyone was ordering it, all the locals. I was like, I have no idea what that is. I'll have one. It was not good. It tasted like gone off cabbage with dog food inside it. I'm sorry, Hungary. No, oh man. Oh. So yeah, Hungary did let me down on the food side, but the city of Budapest is absolutely phenomenal. I spent 5 nights there and I didn't do everything I wanted to do, and it kind of annoyed me. But at least now, if I ever pass through, I've still got stuff to do. I mean, I did most things, don't get me wrong. I pretty much demolished the tourist sites, but there were a few things. I like to see things by night, and yeah, I want to see a few more different things there. It's just everything is so big there. That's the only way I can put it. Everything's huge. And the hostel I stayed in was really close to the centre. Well, it was in the centre, sorry. Not a long walk from the bridge. And it was in this beautiful old building, and I will put some actual pictures at the end of this video for you to have a look at the things that I've been talking about. Okay, you kind of walked in and it was, I can't describe it. There's an empty space in the middle of this building, and there was apartments all around with little metal balconies coming out with flowers dangling down. I mean, you looked all the way up, and it was just so like old and antique-y looking, and it was that kind of just quaint feel you don't get in England, and you probably don't get in America. It's only when you really hit into like Eastern Europe you see this rural area, and it's not a rural area, you know. And it was just stunning, and that cost me £7 a night. Yeah, £7 a night. I was absolutely chuffed with that. So if you're ever planning on going to Budapest, I can promise you there are loads of things you can do. Absolutely tons. You can get boat rides to places, you can explore the Buda and the Pest side, and if you walk like me, because I didn't get any buses, any trains anywhere, I didn't do any of that. I literally walked everywhere, and it will kill you because it's such a large city, but you get to see just so much more. So yeah. So we've had Rome, Budapest, and moving away from the cities now, I have to say without a doubt, Zadar in Croatia is my favourite place next to them two cities. I mean, it could even overtake them because it's not touristy, and that's what I like. Like I said, with Rome and Budapest, they're huge cities, very touristy, very, very, very touristy. But you can find some beauty, and especially in Rome, my hostel was nowhere near the centre, and we kind of got a little taste of what it's like to still be in Rome, but not bang in the centre. So I don't hate touristy places, I really don't, but when you find that little gem hidden away that not many tourists go to, you'll remember that more than the huge cities. So Zadar in Croatia was absolutely fantastic. I did actually write a little clip of a review on my Facebook wall, which, by the way, go and like. Keeps you up to date with all my travels, what I'm doing with my videos, ask you loads of questions, just talk about travel, it's all good. And I did a little review on this hostel. I'm going to put the link to this hostel down in the description box because it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It was an apartment actually, not exactly a hostel. Mira, the beautiful, beautiful woman who owns these apartments, came and picked me up free of charge, took me back. She could tell I had been on a 7-hour bus ride with no air conditioning, and I was just so she took me into her apartment where her family were. She made me coffee, she got me orange juice, she made me some food, she showed me up to my room, and she said, look, there's 3 beds in this room, have them. Here's a key to the door. No one else is going to be checked in. If someone else does want to be checked in, then I'll put them in another room. You have this room to yourself. Bonus! Not only that, we got a kitchen, a lounge, and a huge balcony overlooking the sea. This all cost me about £7 a night as well. It was unbelievable. And when you go into the town of Zadar, it's not overrun with tourists. Yes, there are tourists there snapping away at some of the monuments, but it's not crammed full that you can't breathe. There are some really beautiful boat rides as well to go out to all the islands, but like I said, like with the Sistine Chapel, you want to go around and get your best prices, okay? Like I said in one of my other videos as well, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a boat trip that really exceeds, maybe doubles your daily budget, then remember the next day you can just have a beach day and not really spend any money, and then you're back on track straight away. But don't let the fact that something's a bit more expensive put you off from doing it. Just kind of weigh it up for the next day. Back to the beautiful mirror. On my last night there, I didn't want to go all the way into Zadar. I just wanted to find somewhere. I was staying in Bibinje. I just wanted to find a little restaurant there and settle down, have myself a quiet dinner, maybe walk across the beach at night, come home, pack, have an early night and get up to get my bus in the morning. So I went to her and asked her for her recommendations on where to eat. Immediately she was like, no, 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 you don't, you come with us. I was like, okay. So her and her daughter, we took a walk down by the beach and then came to this house, or this back garden. We went in and it was all of Mira's family, and they just welcomed me in, and we sat there and we were eating cake and they got me drinks and they talked about the Queen, and they made a very funny joke about, oh, Diana, she didn't die by accident, did she? I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they all spoke English for me. Their English was amazing. And I just remember there was this little boy, I can't remember what relation he was to any of them, I didn't ask, and he could tell you the capital city of any country in the world, except for Wales. I did test him on that one, he didn't get that right, but every other one, even really remote countries, he knew, and it was pretty awesome. And it's memories like that with the locals, just, yeah, the Colosseum was great. The Sistine Chapel I will never forget, because that was probably one of the highlights of my Italy trip, other than my skydive. But just meeting the locals and having that couple of hours just chatting with them and being with them, and it was amazing. So Zadar, never miss it. If you're gonna do like I did last year, from Zagreb down, and like I hit Zagreb, Zadar, Split, Var, which is an island, and Dubrovnik. Don't go to Split. Don't go to Split. It smells, it's dirty, it's horrible, but that is my opinion, and to be fair, it was nearly everyone's opinion that I met in the hostel. You can have a completely different opinion. So if you liked Split, please let me know, because I was only there for 2 days, and one day, my first day, I got food poisoning and was heaving up. So I only got 1 day there, so maybe because I was feeling a bit ill and I was walking around and it was really hot, I wasn't feeling it. So let me know if maybe I've made a wrong judgment there, because I'm happy to put my hands up and say I did, obviously. So yeah, those are my top 3 places: Rome, Budapest and Zadar. Out of all the places I've been, they just stick out, and I could talk about them forever, but I'm not going to. Okay, so this has been really highly requested that I talk about my own travels, and I've wanted to, but I could literally yammer on and could eat your ear off, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we're going to end it here, and I will do more of these kind of things. Right, here's the plan. I leave next week, like I said, for Australia. Next week I will have what's in my backpack, what's in my hand luggage, pre-departure nerves, and things to do in the airport. Videos like that all coming next week, or they might be the week after, because it depends when I get time to edit these, as I'm rushing around at the moment, still working full-time and having to say goodbye to everyone and try and pack and sort out this, that and the other. So it's a bit hectic here at the moment. When I'm away, you're going to get videos like Backpacker's Guide to Melbourne, and I'm going to be talking to different people out there. I'm going to try and get a little video guide together for you guys, where I'm eating, where the locals are eating, what are the tricks and the tips, where are the paths which tourists never take. Also, as I'm going on a working holiday visa, I'll be talking more about that, how I applied for it. It was really simple. I actually got my working holiday visa for free, but I'll talk more about that later. I will also discuss my budget. I'm happy to tell you guys what I have in my bank, because that's the reality of what I'm doing here with you. You need to know how much I'm taking on such an adventurous trip. I will be doing the backpackers guides, the backpack chat, the advice, the support for all you guys, Q&A. That's still always going to continue. I'll never stop that. But what I'll also be doing is more of a personal take on my journey. So I'll be recording some of my lowest moments and my highest moments, if I ever get into trouble, I'll film it to tell you what's happened and how I'm getting out of it. Okay, so it's going to be a real personal touch, so you can follow me through my travels, but also I'll still be there as Psycho Traveller, giving advice whenever you need it. Okay, so I'm really excited, very anxious, but in a good way. A lot of emotions right now, because I'm going away for such a long time and I doubt I'll ever come back. I'll come back to visit, but that's about it. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to keep subscribing. Let your friends know if they're going to go travelling. Send them to my channel. I'll give them some help. Don't forget Facebook and Twitter. I'm starting to use Twitter a bit more now, even though I don't really like it still. I am using it. So follow me and also like me on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you sometime next week. It may not be Wednesday, but it'll be around the end of next week. Okay? How exciting! Okay, bye!